in Novellino Bistro in Golders Green, and we're going to learn how to make donuts. Now, my confession is that I've never made donuts in my life, and I know that there are lots of different recipes, but the chef, the expert here, Yanir, promises that this is a good and easy recipe. So, for those of you who have prepared the dough in advance, you've got it in the fridge or in the kitchen, you can have it in front of you, and we're going to follow the instructions with Yanir. But maybe just a couple of words to get to know our chef. Yanir, you're the chef here in Golders Green in Novellino, but I hear that you might become a chef nearer to us in Brighton, in the new restaurant in the B&JC development.
Might be, depends if I know how to make the donuts.
Yes, well, depends what I think when I eat them
we'll see later on.
Okay, so Yanir, just very quickly, tell me about yourself. You are Israeli, you've moved from Israel to London about 15 years ago?
I moved to Israel, from Israel to London 15 years ago, as a profession as a chef. I came here to work for Gordon Ramsay originally, and then...
Well, if you've survived Gordon Ramsay. So if you're happy to chat while cooking, can you do both? Can you multitask?
Yeah.
Right, so we're going to start with the cooking, and just to remind everyone that donuts are traditional for Chanukah because they are cooked in oil, they're fried in oil, and that's to commemorate the miracle of the oil that lasted 8 days.
Yes.
Right, what have we got here then?
So basically we have, the guys at home probably had the recipe already. I don't know if they made it though or they made it with us, but it's quite simple. It's just to put everything together. We have the flour, the sugar, the egg, the yeast, the lemon zest, the margarine, the brandy, and the water. Now, obviously, if you do, it's better to do a parve one. You don't need to use butter. You can use margarine, and you don't have to use. It was one more ingredient: milk. Use water instead, and the recipe is as good as. But if you do want to make it milky, feel free to do it. But really, in the end, it's tasty the same. So we can drop the flour in. And everything, doesn't matter, everything can go in.
It doesn't matter in which order?
No, because you mix it all together. It's easy recipe. Everyone can do that. And then what's important is the amount of water and flour that you put. You might need more water and you might need more flour. And basically you just activate the dough and you let it work. The dough that comes out, you probably want to do it like 10 minutes, and the dough that comes out from it should be non-sticky and elastic, so you can feel it very airy, very nice dough. And if it's a bit sticky, you need to add a bit more flour, and if it's a bit dry, you can add more water. Everything together, and then it's important to let it rest. That's the secret of the donuts. If you let it rest enough until it doubles its size, you will get a very nice and spongy donut.
Is it the more the better or not?
No, you can as well do it too much, and then it will overproof, and then it will get flat after. It's important to let it double the size. So if it's the size of a bowl, let it be double bowl. And then you will take the air out and make a small balls for the donut itself. And then you will let it proof again as a donut. Almost forgot the brandy, the most important thing. Once it's doubled the second time, then it's ready to be fried. And once you fried it, you will do one side, and then you will turn it to the other side. We can show you a bit later.
Okay. It already smells good. It really smells good.
It's the brandy or the lemon? I think it's the brandy. Yeah. So if you follow the recipe exactly as it is, you shouldn't add any water or flour, but it might be that you will. It depends on different type of flour, or if you use milk, it might be you will need a bit more flour. But you would like to let it work a lot. You cannot overwork this dough like other doughs. Let it roll until it's become one nice, consistent dough. We'll see it.
So for people who don't have that flash KitchenAid,
yes.
would a kind
you can do it by hand, like the old time. It will take you probably half an hour.
Okay.
It's fun. You can do it with kids and everything. Let them do it a bit, and you can do a bit. It's because the recipe is quite easy. You cannot get wrong with that. So yeah, you can play with it around, but once you let it proof, you leave it on the side and don't touch it until it's double the size.
Okay.
So you see, if you touch it and it's a bit sticky, you will need a bit more flour. Just that it will not stick to your hand. That's the way to feel it. And I will bring some more flour, and then you can put it back and let it mix a bit more.
And you told me earlier that you used to work in Breaur restaurant on the seafront in Tel Aviv, which is a very famous restaurant.
Yes.
It's a fantastic restaurant, in fact.
Yes.
How does it feel to cater for predominantly Israeli clientele as opposed to British clientele? I'm always interested in these cultural differences because I myself live them, every day of my life.
I think the food in Israel is amazing. I mean, the ingredient that you get and the option to create a dish that it's outstanding is quite simple. But as well, the Israeli people are ready for a lot of changes. If we know the history, they came from all around the countries. They're open mind. They open mind for different food. They are eager to have different dishes. They want to explore that field in their bad taste and everything. So they're very passionate about food. In England, I think it's very moving there.
He's a British diplomat already.
It will be. It will be. I find that a lot of people like the tradition food, and let's say if it's a donuts with a jam, it will be a donuts with a jam. It will not be with a custard and chocolate and other things. But we're moving there. Hopefully it will be open. But today you can get ingredients all around the world. As I said, the kosher food should be phenomenal. That word, what she said. It can be really amazing. Yeah, and there is no reason why not. If the public and everyone will want it, it will happen.
Right.
But we still have people liking their nutrition stuff.
Right. I think in Brighton we're definitely ready for a good kosher with excellent variety restaurant. Is that a challenge that you would look forward to?
I think it's a challenge to come to Brighton and have a kosher restaurant, and it's a challenge as well because I will do my learning and study what the area and the people around like and what they need and what they want, and then we'll create the perfect thing for them. It is a challenge, but today we're moving forward with a lot of vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, and I'm quite lucky to be in this time to have everything possible. Yeah, I mean, you can do whatever you want today. The food can be amazing and still be dairy-free, still be gluten-free. So yeah, especially vegan is very interesting to do everything vegan, but it's possible. Like we do the donuts, so we need to have an egg. But if you change the recipe, you cannot just take the egg out and put something else. But if you change a bit the recipe, you can make amazing donuts vegan.
Right.
Yeah, so it's not a problem.
Okay, great. So what's the next stage? Is this ready?
So yeah, if it's not sticky and it's fluffy, it's just like that. So you want to make like a knot, like a ball, and then put it back in the bowl. And then you cover it with cling film. And once you cover it with cling film, you let it proof double the size. So basically, if you have this small ball, you want to come up to here, more or less, and then we'll do it again once it's ready. We'll make it a ball. Small balls, then proof again, double, and then it's ready to be fried.
Okay.
Okay, so now it's just the resting time.
I'm not leaving without eating though.
Okay, I have ready ones. I will go and bring it to fry them. Yeah, it's different size. So obviously, when I fry the big one, it will not be ready as a small one. So I will fry the same size, the same time. So I waited that it would proof twice. I took the air out. So basically, let's say that already been proofed twice. You take the air out, you work it a bit, and then you do a small roll. It's important not to put a bit flour at all. Don't put at all flour.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you want it to stick a bit, and if you put the flour, it will just roll. And you want to create like a roll, like a donut.
Okay.
So if you have flour, it will just move around.
Okay.
So then you leave it like that, and you wait it until it will double again. So that side. So let's try. So 160 degrees. You can buy a thermometer, a probe that can tell you the temperature. It's important to put it on a paper because if you try to lift it, all the air will come out. Yeah, so you really want to gently take it out. It's supposed to be gently. And then just fry it. You see, it shouldn't be too hot because when you stir it, it will burn from outside and inside it will not be ready.
So if people don't have a thermometer, how do they know?
More or less when it's hot.
Yeah.
They will warm the oil. It's better to have a thermometer because then when you drop the donuts, you will not know exactly if it's hot or not. And you know when you have oil, you put a carrot in the middle, you see if there's bubbles coming from the around it, and you know that the oil is hot. You can try it, but then it will not tell you if it's 150, 160, 170. So.
And what was the ideal temperature again?
If you do 2, so you can keep it even 170.
Okay.
But if you do few, you want to keep it around 160. Cool. So we have different sizes. So we'll fry 2. Then once they get to the right color, we'll just turn them to the other side.
And how long does the frying last normally?
It will be 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
I never tried to see how long exactly, but you will see the color comes out, and then you will turn to the other side. Not yet.
No. Oh, it looks lovely.
And then you will have a nice white line around. And then you let it rest a bit, and then you start doing it after it rests.
Right.
Yeah, weeks. So this color is good. You can twist it to the other side. And now, because it went a bit up, you will have the white line around.
Yes. I never knew why the white line was there. Now
It's
I
just
know.
that it goes a bit up and it goes down.
Yeah.
And you do it both sides. It's nice to take it out on a paper, to take the oil a bit out. It makes you feel less guilty. So now it's ready. So just let it. Don't use your hand when you take it out from the deep fryer. But that's just only one. We can cook some more in the meantime. Like every dough, we want to let it rest a bit. And when it's rest, we have so I made some strawberry jam.
You made it.
I mean, it's quite simple. If you have it's not the season, but if you have strawberries, you need to try it first. If they are very sweet, you need to put less sugar in the jam. But it's strawberry, sugar, and a bit lemon. And that's all. I hope everyone have a squeezy bottle. If not, you can have a piping bag, or you can have a syringe. Or you can just, I didn't say it, but you can do a hole with a spoon and put the jam on. You can do it anyway. There's no one watching you when you do it at home. So once you let it rest a bit longer than that, so you can just stuff it with the jam. And then like this. And then we'll put a bit ice and sugar.
Wow, that looks so professional.
And then jam. Okay, let's do another one, jam. That's all, more or less. It's quite simple.
Is it ready now for me to taste?
It's quite hot. You can try. You can try.
I can't wait.
Okay. Careful from the jam. That would be good.
Oh, this is really good.
Okay, yeah, it looks good.
This is so good.
Cool.
I'm probably full of sugar. Has anybody got the contract here for him to sign? This is fantastic. Absolutely wonderful.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
My
Happy
pleasure.
Chanukah.
Happy Chanukah. Chag Sameach.